Hey guys, welcome to Brick Hub. Today we're going to review the Mezco 112 Collective 6-inch scale Wonder Woman. This is going to be the modern version of her. As always, if you guys enjoy this video, be sure to smash that like button, comment down below to let me know what you think, and subscribe to this channel hitting that notification bell. Also, check out our Instagram page. So first things first, this is the modern version of Wonder Woman. It honestly, like from the pictures, kind of looked like the rebirth version, but it is obviously a little bit more unique because of the fact that Mezco made it, and Mezco likes to kind of change things up a little bit. And this copy I bought off of eBay used before they basically kicked me off the platform. But on the backside, you can see she has two different faces. She has this cool cape. I probably will never use the cape, but she has a lot of cool accessories, the spear, sword, axe, and she has these bullet deflection things that basically are supposed to be bouncing off her gauntlets there. She has her shield with the Wonder Woman logo and neck and shoulder armor along with 8 different hands. She has the display base with the posing post, the lasso of truth, which is unfortunately only a few inches long, so I probably won't get too much use out of it. It does look good when it's coiled up like this though. And then you do have some glam shots of Wonder Woman in action. So inside the box you have the figure and the accessories laid out. So it looks like she has this one thing of her lasso that's already coiled up and molded this way. And then underneath, I'll show you guys the next layer. It has the actual unwound lasso of truth. It has her hands, her shoulder and neck armor, and then her alternate angry face. Of course, behind her head we have the figure's display stand. And I really haven't done a good job of showing you guys what is underneath the main tray on most of these Mezco figures, but this will have the clamp that holds the figure up, as well as the unwound lasso of truth, the magnetic bullets, the accessories bag, the spear, axe, and then her cape. So here is the figure out of the box. You might have noticed I already attached the lasso of truth to her right side. Honestly, as far as Mezco figures go, I mean, I needed a Wonder Woman, so now I have one, but as soon as a better Wonder Woman comes out, I'll probably get rid of this one and change over to that one, because I mean, one of the things that I think is Mezco's strength is they have very few joints that are exposed, but this one, I mean, it has a lot of exposed joints. Not only that, but this figure in particular also being used, I think the last guy was trying to do something with the feet here, and it ended up damaging the joint there. And I don't know, I mean, as far as the sculpting goes, I think the sculpting and the paintwork is fantastic. The clothes here, it's probably the cheapest kind of leather that I've ever seen Mezco use. It's almost like paper thin. It's almost like those Lego starchy capes that Lego used to use a lot of. But honestly, at this point, I don't know. I mean, I needed a Wonder Woman, so now I got one, and I'll wait for a better one, because I don't know. In terms of the physical appearance of it, it is a little bit disappointing to me. Now, as far as accessories go, I do think this is one of the stronger figures. I just put on the armor, and so for this neck armor here, you just pull off her head, pop it on, and then you can put her head back on. I think that looks pretty good. The armor here, you can it's literally just this very loose-fitting clip that you just slide on, just like that. And I don't know, like, part of me doesn't like it because of how loose it is, but at the same time, I know this will make it very easy to pose later on. And speaking of posability, she has a little bit of turn in her hair or head, but because of her hair, she really can't do much. She can barely look down. She can really not look up at all. She can barely turn her head without also kind of cocking her head to the side and down a little bit. And this is as far as her arms go, and her arms are not double jointed at the elbows, so 90 degrees is about the best she can do. Of course, the hands swivel and they go back and forth, but because it's a female arm, I mean, you know, obviously women's arms tend to be smaller, and so she has pretty weak joints here, so that's a little bit unfortunate because I was pretty kind of worried about breaking. Now, one thing she has is her legs turn side to side at the thighs just a little bit, which is different from the usual Mezco figures, but also with her legs, because they're not double jointed, that's as far as she can kick. Her feet have very little range, unfortunately, and barely turn. You really can't turn much left and right either. Honestly, at this point, I would have just preferred they just be fixed in place if they're going to be like that. And yeah, I don't know. The posability of this figure, I think, is going to be pretty tough, honestly. For some of her accessories, of course, she has her sword and she has her shield. The shield, it's got these two different straps here, and you have to pop off her hand and then slide this on and then pop the new hand on. So I was wrong. Actually, you have to get this shield holding hand and slide it on. It actually won't even fit over her wrist there. But I do think she looks pretty good with the sword and shield. And she actually can stand on her own, which is actually pretty cool. And earlier I showed you the axe on the back of the artwork. And this is actually pretty heavy, so I'm kind of surprised that they made it so heavy. She probably wouldn't be able to hold this up on her own. On the other hand, she also comes with the spear that is almost her height. And I guess she can like throw it or kind of just hold on to it or something like that. And she has this lasso of truth that is unwound, but it's so short that I really don't know what anyone would use this for. I kind of wish they would have had something this length with like a lasso loop at the very end so that it was more usable. She also comes with 3 of these bullet effects, and the way that works is she has these magnets in her gauntlets, and they just kind of stick off like that so she can do that thing where she's deflecting bullets with her bracelets. And finally, of course, she comes with this cape, which I would say is pretty good looking actually, and it has this clasp on one side and this kind of Greek style printing along the side there. And that's what she looks like with the cape. It does have a wire that runs on both sides so you can pose it a little bit more, but I think the wire is a little bit too stiff for this material because this cape is a little bit thinner than some of the other fabrics that Mezco usually uses. So overall, I had to pay more than the original MSRP because I bought the second hand and it's no longer in production. And honestly, this is the first Mezco figure I regret buying. And I've bought some Mezco figures at outrageously inflated prices. This one I only paid, I think I paid $100 for, and it retailed for like 85 or 90 when it first came out. I wouldn't even pay $50 for this. Is probably the worst Mezco figure that I have to date. So much about it is disappointing. You might notice I haven't even posed her with the shield because the shield it literally just slides right off. It doesn't stay there. And I mean, so many of the joints are showing, and I said, well, you know what, I'll look past that because the sculpting is great, but her posability is just not that good compared to other Mezco figures because of the double joints at the elbows and the knees being gone here. And that's really disappointing because, and I know why they did that, because usually the double joints are gonna cause more stress on both sides of the arm. And unfortunately, she has smaller arms than most of the guy characters. I do think Mezco needs to work to improve their female characters because the male characters, I think they've done a fantastic job, but the female characters, not only are there not enough, because there are so many female superheroes that I really want, but especially because I want a complete Justice League, I do need a Wonder Woman. You know, I'm just gonna keep waiting, I suppose, until they have a new Wonder Woman figure, because this one is gonna sit in my display as long as there isn't another Wonder Woman to get. I know there's the classic Wonder Woman, but I think it'll have the same exact problems, honestly, because it is the same body and everything. So that's it for this video, guys. If you guys enjoyed this review, be sure to smash that like button, comment down below and let me know what you think, and subscribe to this channel, hitting that notification bell. Thanks, guys. Bye.